Get ready for your daily dose of WordPress and web development tips, tricks, and insights to help you find success with WordPress. You're listening to WP the Podcast with your hosts, David Blackman and Tim Streifler.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of WP the Podcast, brought to you by WP Gears. I'm David Blackman.
And I'm Tim Streifler.
Today we're going to talk about why you should consider developing websites locally. Tim, why don't you tell our audience what that means?
Yeah, so developing locally is when you use your local computer as a server, essentially. So traditionally, when you're building a website, you are connecting to a server, right? And you're logged into your WordPress admin website on that server. And when you're saving, you're making changes. Your browser is, you click save and it's going up to the server and then it's saving. Well, when you're developing locally, you're using some sort of a software that's allowing you to turn your local computer into essentially a server, which means faster, more secure. We're going to talk all about that. But in a second here, I'm not going to step on those points that we haven't gotten to. But that's essentially what developing locally means. And there's a lot of benefits that come with it. And so the first one is developing locally saves you time because it's faster processing. So because you're not saving to the internet, your browser's not connecting via the internet to a server that might be in a different state or even a different country even. And so because of that, it saves a lot of time. When you click save, it's like instant. Additionally, it's really fast to spin up websites. If you're using a tool like Local by Flywheel, which by the way is our recommended tool for local development, you can create a new site within seconds. And you can even clone sites and do all these different things rather than having to go through a cPanel or your hosting account to spin up a new site and wait for it to be provisioned and all that. It happens almost instantly. And so you save a ton of time developing locally.
Second point is developing locally is more secure and private. Obviously, if you're doing it on your computer at home, it's not connected. That environment's not connected to the internet like a web server is. So it's going to be more secure and much more private. Obviously, your computer's connected to the internet. So technically, I guess if there's some IT guys out there that are saying BS, but guess what I'm going to say? I could unplug that internet cable to my computer and still work on my website locally on my machine. And therein lies the thing. It's more secure and private.
Yeah, and that actually leads well into the third point here. Developing locally allows you to build your website without having an internet connection. So, for example, if you are on an airplane flying, you don't have internet, you don't want to pay for the Wi-Fi, the expensive airplane Wi-Fi.
Sucks anyways.
Yeah, it's very slow and very inconsistent. And so you can essentially build your website or build a website without an internet connection. Now, certain things might get difficult if you need to go and find different design assets and stuff like that, but you can actually work on the site without internet, which is pretty cool.
Well, a couple of other tools that we recommend checking out. If you obviously Flywheel is our number one choice, but also there's a great company out there in the WordPress community, and they do a lot at WordCamps and stuff, is ServerPress. So if you want to actually set up your own local environment and stuff, you can check out ServerPress as well. But as Tim said, Flywheel is pretty easy. I mean, click, boom, and you're done. So I think, as a non-tech person, Flywheel is even easier than ServerPress and stuff because messing with command lines sometimes is not fun. So, all right.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we've got another great topic. Tim?
Take care. Bye-bye.
Until tomorrow, we'll see you then.
We've come to the end of today's episode of WP the Podcast. Join us tomorrow for more daily tips and strategies designed to help you run your WordPress business toward success. Remember to subscribe to WP the Podcast so you can stay up to date with each episode. And don't forget to rate and review us. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on WP the Podcast.